Welcome to this audio summary of Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. This book is a timeless classic in trading psychology, and it has changed the way countless traders approach the markets. Mark Douglas explains something that most people overlook. Trading is not about finding the perfect strategy or predicting every market move. Success comes from mastering your mindset. In fact, trading is 80% psychology and only 20% methodology. In this audio, we'll break down the key lessons from Trading in the Zone, explain why most traders fail, and show how you can start thinking like a consistently profitable trader. So let's dive in. Part 1. Why most traders struggle. When most people start trading, they believe that if they just find the right system or indicator, they'll be able to predict the market and win consistently. They treat trading like a puzzle to be solved. But Mark Douglas points out something uncomfortable. Even with the best analysis, the market is unpredictable. You can have a setup that looks perfect and still lose money. You can have a setup that looks weak and it ends up being a big winner. This uncertainty creates psychological pressure. Traders often fall into emotional traps: fear of missing out, hesitating too long, then entering late, fear of loss, exiting too early, only to see the trade keep running, revenge trading, jumping into bad trades after a loss, trying to make it back, overconfidence. After a big win, traders risk too much and give it back. The cycle repeats, and traders blame the market, their strategy, or bad luck. But Douglas says the real problem is much deeper. It's the inability to accept risk fully. Until you accept that risk is part of the game, fear and hope will control your actions. Part 2. Understanding the market's nature. Douglas makes something very clear. The market is always uncertain. No pattern guarantees the future. No signal works 100% of the time. Every moment in the market is unique. That might sound discouraging, but it's actually freeing. If you can accept uncertainty, you stop trying to predict the future and instead learn to work with probabilities. Douglas uses the analogy of a casino. Think about a roulette wheel. The casino doesn't know if the next spin will land on red or black, odd or even, but they do know that over thousands of spins, the math works in their favor. Their small statistical edge guarantees consistent profits over time. As traders, we need to think the same way. A trading system is not designed to predict the outcome of the next trade. It only gives us an edge, a higher probability of one outcome over another. Like the casino, our job is to execute our edge consistently, trade after trade, without getting attached to any single outcome. Part 3. The 5 Fundamental Truths. Douglas breaks this mindset shift into 5 key truths every trader must internalize. Anything can happen. The market is unpredictable. You don't need to know what will happen next to make money. A single trade doesn't matter. It's the series of trades that counts. Wins and losses are randomly distributed. Even with a strong system, the outcome of each trade is uncertain. An edge is only a probability. It's not a guarantee, it's just a higher likelihood. Every moment in the market is unique. No two setups are ever exactly the same. Once you truly accept these truths, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster. You stop fearing losses because you know they're part of the distribution. You stop getting overexcited about wins because you know they don't mean you can predict the next trade. This is what separates professional traders from amateurs. Pros think in probabilities, while amateurs chase certainty. Part 4. The Psychology of Risk. let's go deeper into risk acceptance. Most traders say they accept risk, but when a trade goes against them, they feel fear, anger, or disappointment. This shows they haven't fully accepted it. True risk acceptance means that when you enter a trade, you already accept the possibility of losing that money. You are at peace with it. Douglas explains that when you do this, something powerful happens. The fear disappears. You no longer hesitate to enter. You no longer second-guess your exits. You execute your plan calmly, because you know that no single trade defines you. Think again about the casino. Does the casino manager get upset when someone wins big at the roulette table? Not at all. They know that over time, the house edge will play out. As traders, we must adopt that same mindset. Part 5. The Consistent Trader's Mindset. Douglas describes the consistent trader as someone who is disciplined, objective, and detached from outcomes. Here's how they think. They don't expect certainty. They don't fear being wrong. They don't get emotional after a win or a loss. They trust their edge and focus on execution. The consistent trader doesn't try to control the market. They only control themselves, their entries, their exits, their risk, and their discipline. Over time, this mindset produces steady results. Part 6. Practical Mental Training. Douglas doesn't just give theory. He also suggests mental training exercises to help traders internalize these ideas. Visualization. Before trading, visualize accepting the risk fully. Imagine both scenarios, the trade winning and the trade losing, and remind yourself you are fine with either outcome. Affirmations. Repeat the 5 fundamental truths until they become second nature. Journaling. Keep a trading journal not only of entries and exits, but of your emotions. Notice when fear, greed, or hesitation show up, and learn from it. Mechanical trading. Sometimes it helps to trade your plan mechanically without judgment, until your brain learns that outcomes don't matter individually. These exercises retrain your subconscious mind to think like a professional trader. Part 7. The Zone. Now, let's talk about the ultimate state that Douglas calls the zone. The zone is a mental state of flow, where trading feels effortless. You're calm, focused, and disciplined. You no longer hesitate. You no longer fear. You no longer chase. You simply execute. In the zone, you trust your system and yourself. You don't care about any single outcome because you know your edge will play out over time. Many traders describe it as almost meditative. Time slows down, clarity increases, and decisions feel natural. This is the state of peak performance that every trader should aim for. Conclusion. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas is not about strategies or indicators. It's about the mindset that allows you to execute any strategy with consistency. The key lessons are simple but profound. Accept that anything can happen. Think in probabilities. Focus on your edge, not predictions. Detach from individual outcomes. Train your mind to stay disciplined and calm. When you master these principles, you stop fighting the market and you start working with it. That's when you step into the zone, and that's when trading becomes consistent, professional, and profitable. So remember, trading success is not about controlling the market. It's about mastering yourself. Thank you for listening to this extended summary of Trading in the Zone. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more trading psychology insights.